Waking up early will change your life. Waking up at 5 a.m. will change your life. We hear it everywhere, so let's actually put it to the test and see if it will. But together. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, where we of course talk about self-development, self-love, spirituality, and all things healing. I apologize about the sound. My microphone literally just broke right before or right as I was about to film this. So I promise I will try to have that fixed and solved by the next video, but I still really want to put this out so that we can all prep together for this challenge. So please just bear with me. I know it's awful, but thank you. And just if you're new here, that is not how the sound normally is or how it's gonna go on to be when we move forward. So essentially I talked about how I want to do a 5 a.m. challenge, and several people said that, listen, is this a group thing? Are we gonna do this together or what? So this is going to be a 30-day challenge, or actually is it, Jennifer? It's gonna be a 31-day challenge where we in May get up every single morning at 5 a.m. to really kickstart our summer. Of course, a lot of times it starts to become easier to feel more disciplined during the summer where it's just naturally warmer and lighter outside. So of course I know that it's starting to already get pretty light out, but for me, it just feels like the perfect time to really get things going and to feel like we're really on track to becoming who we want to be by summer. So I really hope you'll join me on this journey of becoming our best selves. So the rules are, of course, as following. Get up at 5 a.m. every morning. Duh. I have done this before. I'm someone who loves challenges, and I love finding ways to change my life. And this is definitely one of them. So I am excited for all of us to do it. A couple of things we have to think about first here. Number one, why do you want to do this challenge? There are so many challenges that we can always do, and there's so many people always talking about 5 a.m., even 4 a.m., and why the most successful people are successful because of it. But one thing you really need to think about is, why do I want to do this challenge? What am I trying to change in my life? Why do I want to get better, and how will this potentially make me better? I'm someone who gets up pretty early anyways. I rarely sleep till later than like 7 on a weekend even. So that's just kind of my natural thing. But I'm also someone who could definitely use more sleep because I tend to get between 5 to 6 hours, which obviously is not optimal, especially for a woman. So something I'm gonna make a whole video on because it's been such an epiphany in my life is you do not find a perfect routine. Number one, that just fits everybody. You do not find a routine that solves your life and your problems. You do not optimize a routine, a morning routine, a night routine, a beauty routine, and then suddenly, boom, you're a millionaire. Boom, you have your dream life. No. Of course, this can be a great and positive challenge, but this is so much deeper than that. We need to do these things for ourselves to make our lives better, and we're all on individual roads. But one thing I really want to talk about in another video is you don't need a routine first. You need a goal. So that's why I want to kickstart this for us by you writing down what are the biggest goals in your life, no limits. And that can also be, maybe you end up writing a whole list of saying, you know what, I have these huge goals, but also I just want to feel healthier, more productive. I want to feel, maybe you felt a little sad, or even, pretty girls have depression seasons, okay? So maybe you just want to feel better. But I need you to get into a quiet place, maybe early in the morning. Maybe you can even do this on day one, but I really prefer you to do it as like a prep stage. That's why I'm putting this out almost a week before, May 1st. But I need you to clarify, how will this benefit me? And also one of those things should be for all of us, because I'm allowed to feel like I'm becoming a better person because of it. I know I said the routines don't make you, but once you have a goal, that's where you start to reverse engineer that goal into little steps to get you further. And also understand this, okay? Only about 8% of people get up at 5 a.m. So that means you're beating 92% of people to the punch of getting up in the morning. That means you have this amazing quiet energy, like the world shutting up for a second, and you get to do something for you. And that can be you wanting to do more self-care in the morning, because we can all be in such different phases of our lives. I'm doing so much right now. I'm so busy, and I really need to be careful that I don't hit burnout right now. So I need to take more care of myself, and I need to implement strategies for deep work, and we can also get into what that is. But with that said, I'm a single woman who lives selfishly. Like, I do things for me, even though, of course, I feel like I'm very much still dealing with being a people pleaser and setting boundaries. Maybe you're a mom who thinks, well, great, but I'm just trying to get enough sleep. I'm just trying to be up when my kids are up, and I just hope they don't wake me up too early. I don't know. But I just know that no matter how many excuses we make individually, doing something empowering and positive for ourselves, especially when it's in a community and we do it together, it can just be so positive, uplifting, and supportive. And you really start to notice that, especially for us as women, we start to feel so much better and aligned when we take things more slowly, and when we take things from an aligned space, when we allow ourselves to groom, to do self-love through self-care. And the problem is sometimes it can sound so selfish, it can sound so shallow. It's even been said that one of the ways to activate your spiritual feminine energy is through grooming. And grooming sounds like you're grooming a dog, but when you take the time to really do things for yourself, which is something that I'm gonna put really high on the priority list, because even though I do my hair and makeup every day, I'm rarely like sloppy. I'm noticing that I've been kind of stuck in a routine that I don't wanna be in anymore. So I really need to focus on how can I implement these strategies during this extra time, during this quiet time. Like, for example, I'm taking my time to do oil pulling in the morning while I make a protein matcha latte, because I cut out all coffee during the morning for my cortisol. Holy moly, am I proud of that, because to quit that was a bitch. But that leads me into the reason why I think this can also be beneficial, especially if you do quiet time in the morning. You can do little things that really start to add up to bigger things and to better habits, and you start to rewire your brain from being constantly in stress to really learning that this is what sets me up for a good day. And I just can't tell you how many times, first of all, I've done this, but I've also gotten out of this routine where I know personally for me, when I simply just do the things I have on my agenda, when I do things I know that will make me feel my best, as in, I say, I wake up and within the first hour, I've done some journaling, I've sat in quiet, and then I do 45 minutes of deep work on a task or on some content, whatever it is I'm working on right now. When I do that, I just notice afterwards how much better I feel. Like, let's say it's a weekend and you're like, wow, it's been 5 hours since getting up. It's only 10 a.m. and I've already done my deep work. I've already done my self-care, my workout, my walk. I'm starting to meal prep in a little bit. I have so much more clarity, and I'm not so overwhelmed and tired, because sometimes we think when we do more, we're gonna be more tired. But in my opinion, when I'm just really clear, focused, and intentional, and I set clear boundaries with people and with myself when it comes to, these are the tasks of the day. This is your power list of tasks. Like, these are the 3 things that are bigger in your day. Like Sundays, it's meal prepping, it's everything shower, it's really planning out the next week, and therefore not putting all the other things in that day. I start to notice that things take more time than I originally thought, but really only carving out time for those things adds so much to my life. And adding on top of that, when you do it earlier on, you start to feel so empowered by it. So I will leave my Instagram and my TikTok down there. We can even do like a Geneva group if you guys want to really do this challenge together, because I'm actually going to make this a part of a series that I'm calling my Best Self series. And I'm gonna do it probably mainly on YouTube, but really on all platforms. And I am really excited about this, because I'm probably just gonna do this as a series that I don't know when ends, but it's because I have so many things I wanna do, I wanna try, I wanna become, I wanna learn. And I just feel like it's so much easier if I can like put that into something, instead of it always being, I'm so overwhelmed because I constantly feel not good enough. But really it comes down to this thing that I wanna talk about quickly, but also I definitely need to talk about it maybe on my next podcast or something, because please stay and listen to this, because it's so freaking real. I am someone who has made major changes in my life before. I've lost 60 pounds. I've moved across country, started over. I've gotten out of a depression by myself. I've done things I'm very proud of. I've done the 75 hard challenge. I'm doing it for the 2nd time now. Like, I'm not someone who's lazy. I get up and I do it. I never just sit back and quit. So I'm very proud of that as part of my personality, really, having so much resilience deeply ingrained within me, even though sometimes on a daily basis it can be hard to really acknowledge myself for that. But with that said, the reason why I'm powering through this video, even with my mic literally broke, like I have the USB thing stuck in my laptop right now because it broke, like physically broke. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because lately, and thank God I also have my own like spiritual therapist, because sometimes I need to talk to someone that isn't just myself and the universe or TikTok tarot readers, because sometimes, especially when you are a spiritual person, you can just get so overwhelmed when you feel like you're doing all these positive things, but then it's like the world keeps going and it keeps crushing you down. Just today, even with the mic thing happening, and then I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little tired around 11 because I had done some content stuff, and I was tired because I'm still getting off coffee. I had done a really hard lower body workout, so I was like, okay, let me finally make my first cup of coffee, my first and only cup of coffee of the day, with a healthy quick lunch, and I'll have that right before getting ready to film this and then go to work. And I was really excited about that. And then as soon as I put my plate down, I don't know how, because I did not put it on the edge. I literally put it there. I pulled out my chair, and my entire, like as if a demon from hell came out, it just dragged that fucking plate onto the floor. And the plate broke and my food went everywhere. I just looked at it for 5 minutes because I thought, I can't right now. And these little things, hello Mercury retrograde and eclipse season, is going wrong to the point where I'm like, Jesus Christ, I thought I was really getting into a good space and a good momentum and energy. And right now I just feel lost. And I feel like actively the universe is trying to bring me down and tell me to stop everything I'm doing. And that's because I don't know if this means take a break, stop, you're not aligned, or if it means, are you gonna push through these tests? So maybe let's talk about the universe test. But with that said, I'm noticing how quick of a bounce back I have. Things like this used to just torture me, and I would just quit so quickly instead of just quickly saying, listen, take a deep breath, calm down, you're fine. Do whatever feels like you need to do right now and refocus, recenter, and move on. And then hopefully things will align after. You'll figure it out later. I'll buy a mic later. Great. Sucks, but I'll have to do it. But then again, I've also said for the past couple of months I was gonna get a new mic anyway. Maybe that was the universe's way of saying, hey, you said you were gonna do that, so get it done, yay! Things like little bills or public transportation, I talked about this in my last podcast episode on tools for a bad day. It's gotten so much worse these past days. It's been like every single S train where I live, suddenly not going anywhere. All metros on the same day home from work, not going anywhere. And I just stood there and I was like, I can't take anymore. I can't do it. I can't take it. Of course I found a way home, but I needed a couple of minutes to like gather myself and just be like, I'm just gonna start walking somewhere and there has to be a bus or something, or I'll freaking walk home for the next 2 hours, or I'll take a cab and just pay for it. But there's clearly some sort of resistance going on in the world right now that's trying to show me something here. And it's maybe you have this too, and I would really love to know. Holy moly, that can be hard when you're trying to improve yourself, but you're also trying to be spiritual, and you're trying to really grow, and you're trying to change, and you're doing the hard work. And then you're just sitting there going, why are you doing this to me, universe? Even though I'm still excited and I'm happy, there are just things that are piling on right now, and that feels like it's just crashing and burning everywhere around me, to the point where I feel like I've kind of been forced to go to a certain baseline right now, where I just need to focus on, okay, what needs to be done right now? What can I do right now? And how can I take better care of myself right now? So that was a little like astro chat, spirituality talk, which we are going to do a lot on this channel. So if you're into that, please do stay. Which reminds me, I'm so happy I have this day. After work, I have a tarot and meditation class. I've never heard of that being a thing anywhere near me before. So what a great end to the day when it's been so chaotic so far. So yes, I'm excited about the Best Self series. I'm going to focus on diet, beauty, glow up from inside out. We're going to do vision boarding for the summer. And honestly, it just feels like you get to a point where you say, enough is enough. I've had it with myself. Even though I've changed a lot and I've grown a lot, and you do need to have a lot of grace for yourself and how frustrating change can be in a lot of ways as well. But at the same time, to me, this is what my personal breakdowns feel like. I feel like the universe keeps bashing me right now when I get stuck in my old identity. When I do things that I know I shouldn't do, when I hold myself back from doing the things I should be doing, when I allow myself to like willy-nilly things, when I essentially, it's saying, you, my dear, have outgrown this situation and this space and place you're in. I have said for years now that I want to move out of this tiny little apartment, but my logical self goes, well, you still have 1 year left of your master's, so why not just stay here and then you move out? But then that also means I keep delaying my own happiness and my own growth. The last time, I don't have it anymore because I threw it out, but I had this plant that would just not work with me. Like no matter how much I watered it, it wasn't that it didn't grow, but it was like it wouldn't adjust to the pots ever. So it ended up breaking in these weird ways. And I think it's really trying to show me you have outgrown and overgrown where you're at. So have you done that? Number one, is that possible in your life as well? Two, in what way can you relate to that? Where do you feel like you're at in life right now? And if you're not super spiritual, or if you don't relate to that way of talking, if you just take it still as, what do I feel like my habits and my world around me reflects to me currently? How am I currently feeling? How do I feel like I'm being pushed or pushed back on? Because it is happening no matter what. You're manifesting, whether it's negative or positive. And I think sometimes we need these tests from the universe, and we need to see these things happening because it really does change us. And again, I was so close to not making this video today because I was like, I'll just postpone and somehow film all the things I want to film in one day. But then I thought, no, if I'm really not meant to, my phone will also break down. I sometimes, especially when you do everything on your own, you just start to feel like things are so chaotic to the point where you think, I don't know what to do right now. So I just have to calm myself. And it's funny because one of my last videos was a podcast where I talked about tools for when you have a bad day, which is all about regulating your nervous system. So the reason also why I want to create the 5 a.m. challenge and the Best Self series is because I really want to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Because I feel like I've learned so much over the years, but there are also things, as I'm now growing from this stage to the next, I need to implement these tools as well. And so I've seen how 5 a.m. challenges have really changed my life, because it feels so amazing when you really take your power back and you say, you know what? One thing that's bad for me, it's hitting the snooze button. It's not getting up when I said I wanted to. It's not getting the tasks done I wanted to get done, because these things stack up, and it just and we think that procrastinating on things will somehow help, when really it will like haunt you and torture you, and it will just come back in one way or another. It's like suppressed feelings, right? So I guess this is what happens when I just go impulsive and off script because everything went wrong. But I still want to get you guys in on this challenge, and I really hope that you'll join me. And please let me know, what is your goal? What are you gonna work on during this 5 a.m. challenge? And again, it can be different every day. Sometimes I'll have a super early workout class. Sometimes I'll have it a little later. So sometimes that means it will be deep work during the morning. Sometimes it will be whatever kind of self-care I can do before heading to the gym. And it would just be great. I can definitely do 5 a.m. mornings on TikTok if you guys want, even on Instagram too. Kind of showing my routines. So yeah, I think that will be fun and a good prep to the summer, because I also have exams during May. So it's gonna be a busy month. So why not give myself some more time and get into a really good routine? And then also in May, we need to do the vision boarding and really figure out how can we even better prep for the summer months. I think that's really powerful, and I am very much ready now to go out into the world and say, universe, please show me a sign of what I need to focus on right now. That is maybe my message for the day and the homework. Universe, show me what I need to do today, because clearly I'm overwhelmed and I need you to help me out here. So maybe that's another sign for you to really strip things back to a certain baseline level and really focus on the core things you need to right now. because maybe that's exactly what eclipse season and Mercury retrograde is about. It's about you doing the reflection work so you can then go afterwards, right? Forward momentum. And I guess we're also in Taurus season now, so it makes more sense that it's about stable growth and not this pushy Aries season. And maybe that's why the first part of April felt so good to me. Was this supposed to be such a long rant? Nope, I thought it was gonna be 3 minutes of me saying, join me on this challenge, but that's just how your girl is. She rambles. So I'm actually really excited about this, so please do join me. And I'm so excited about the Best Self series. And go to the description box of comments. I'll put in my platforms. I'll put any relevant information in there. And so I will see you in the challenge, and thank you so much for sticking around during this bad audio. It will hopefully be better by the next video, and if not, then the video after that, because I do film quite a few. I will see you in the challenge, and get ready to rise early. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.